Welcome back to Spell Out Tutorial Services. In today's video we're going to look at a quadratic equation, and we're going to look at two methods of factoring. One is just basic factoring, the other one is factoring by grouping. If we take this example, x squared plus 7x minus 18 equals 0. Here we understand that the coefficient here is a 1, and anytime we have a coefficient of 1 with our x squared term, it makes our factoring a lot easier. We begin here by figuring out what I call the magic number, and that's where I multiply this first coefficient 1 times this last constant negative 18. So basically I need the factors of negative 18 that are going to add up to 7. So let's just go through the whole process. It could be 1 and negative 18. It could be negative 1 positive 18. We could have 2 and negative 9, negative 2, and a positive 9. We could have a 3 and a negative 6, negative 3 and a positive 6. 4 doesn't work, 5 doesn't work, and we've already used 6, so we know we can stop. And again, these are the factors of negative 18. Now if I add these factors, I'm looking to come up with this middle term here of 7. So let's take a look at each one. 1 minus 18 to give me a negative 17. No, I can't use that. Negative 1 plus 18 to give me a positive 17. Again, not what I'm looking for. 2 minus 9 to give me a negative 7. Close, but still not what I'm looking for. Negative 2 plus 9 to give me a positive 7. That is what I need. And then let's look at the last two. I have 3 minus 6 to give me a negative 3. Again, not what I'm looking for. And then negative 3 plus 6 to give me a positive 3. So here we see that the two factors that we need will be the negative 2 and the positive 9. So we start off with our two sets of parentheses here. To the left we place our variable, which is x, and I'm using negative 2 and a positive 9. Now I know that to make this entire equation 0, one of these factors have to be 0, so I'm going to set each factor equal to 0 and then solve. So here I have x minus 2 equals 0. Well, that turns out to be that x has to be 2. And over here I have x plus 9 equals 0. So that means x has to be a negative 9. Alright, so those here are two solutions, and again this is using what I would call a basic factoring method. Alright, now let me go to the factoring by grouping. When factoring by grouping, I'm going to always keep this first term, so that there's going to be x squared, and I'm going to always keep my last term, which is a negative 18. Now I need to fill in the two terms in the middle. In this case I'm going to use, I know I need to have a negative 2, and I know it's going to be a positive 9. What I need to do is figure out which one of these will be the best matchup for either this first term or this last term, so that I can factor by grouping. I see here that I have a 9 and a negative 18. I know they both have a common factor, which would be 9. So I'm going to pair that 9 with this negative 18. So I'm going to write my first term, negative 2, and remember to add the x here, and then I'm going to add 9 plus a 9x. And again, this negative 2x plus 9x, it still gives me this middle term of a 7x. Now at this point, I can group the first two terms together, and I can group the second two terms. Now we'll look for the GCF. The GCF for these first two terms is x. So I factor that x and end up with x minus 2. For the second two terms, I see I can factor out a 9. And again, I end up with an x minus 2. And I know I'm doing the right thing because now I have two terms, but parts of those terms have a common factor. And that common factor is x minus 2. So I'm going to factor out an x minus 2 from both terms. When I factor that out from the first term, I'm left with an x, which is what we see here. And from the second term, I'm left with this 9, or actually a plus 9. So notice that I still come out with this same step that I had up here. X minus 2 times the quantity x plus 9. Again, if I set each one of these factors equal to 0, I still come out with x equaling 2 and x equaling negative 9. Alright, so this sums it up for this short video showing both the what I would call basic factoring and factoring by grouping. In my next video, I'm going to show factoring by grouping, but in this next video, it's going to have a coefficient here that'll be larger than 1. Alright, thank you for watching another video by Speller Tutorial Services. Please friend us on Facebook and also like our YouTube channel. And as always, thank you again for watching.